Hello everyone, today our group will talk about Chapter 12, Managing Human Resources. A key to success in management in your career is knowing how to interview for a job effectively. Let me talk briefly about learning objectives, explain the importance of human resource management process and the external influences that might affect that process. Discuss the tasks associated with identifying and selecting competent employees. Explain the different types of orientation and training. Describe strategy for retaining competent, high-performing employees. Discuss the contemporary issues in managing human resources. First, why is HRM important? HRM is important for three reasons. First, as various studies have concluded, it can be a significant source of competitive advantage. Second, HRM is an important part of organizational strategies. Achieving competitive success through people means managers must change how they think about their employees and how they view the work relationship. Finally, the way organizations treat their people has been found to significantly impact of organizational performance. As you can see in the exhibit 12.2, the entire HRM process is influenced by external environment. Those factors most directly influencing it include the economy, employee labor unions, governmental laws and regulations, and demographic trends. Labor union, an organization that represents workers and seek to protect their interests through collective bargaining. Affirmative actions, organizational programs that enhance the status of members of protected groups. Work council, groups of nominated and elected employees who must be consulted when management makes decisions involving personnel. Board representatives, employees who sit on a company's board of directors and represent the interests of the firm's employees. Next, identifying and selecting competent employees. Human resources planning is ensuring that the organization has the right number and kinds of capable people in the right places at the right times. Recruitment, locating, identifying, and attracting capable applicants. Recruitment, reducing an organizational workforce. Selection, screening job applicants to ensure that most appropriate candidates are hired. As shown in Exhibit 12.6, any selection decisions can result in four possible outcomes: 2 correct and 2 errors. Realistic job interview, a review of job that provides both positive and negative information about the job and the company. Orientation, introducing a new employee to his or her job and the organizations. Exhibit 12.8 describe the major types of training that organizations provide. Some of the most popular types include profession, industry specific training, management supervisor skill, mandatory compliance information such as sexual harassment, safety, and customer service training. Performance management system, establish performance standards used to evaluate employee performance. How do managers determine who gets paid what? Several factors influence the compensations and benefit packages that different employees receive. Exhibit 12 by 11 summarize these factors, which are job-based and business or industry-based. The final part, contemporary issues in matching human resources, downsizing, the planned elimination of jobs in an organization, sex harassment, any unwanted actions or activities of sexual nature that explicitly or implicitly affects an individual's employment, performance, or work environment, family friend benefits, benefits that accommodate employees' need for work-life balance.
Hello everyone, my name is Kiet, and today on behalf of my team, I will present to you the chapter 13, Creating and Managing Teams. Now we come to the learning object number 1, Groups and Group Development. What is a group? A group is defined as two or more interacting and independent individuals who come together to achieve specific goals. Formal groups are work groups defined by the organization structure and have designated work assignments and specific tasks directed at accomplishing organizational goals. There are many stages of group development. The first one is the forming stage that has two phases. The first occurs as people join the group. In a formal group, people join because of some work assignment. Once they have joined, the second phase begins, defining the group's purpose, structure, and leadership. The second one is the storming stage, which is appropriately named because of the intra-group conflict. There's conflict over who will control the group and what the group needs to be done. And the third one is the norming stage, which close relationships develop and the group becomes cohesive. The fourth stage is the performing stage. The group structure is in place and accepted by group members. The final stage is adjourning. In this stage, the group prepares to disband. The group focuses its attention on wrapping up activities instead of task performance. Group members react in different ways. Some are upbeat and thrilled about the group's accomplishments. Others may be sad over the loss of camaraderie and friendship. Now we come to learning object number 2, work group performance and satisfaction. The answers are complex, but include variables such as the abilities of the group's members, the size of the group, the level of conflict, and the internal pressures on members to conform to the group's norms. The external conditions imposed on the group, because work groups are affected by the external conditions imposed on it, such as the organization strategy, authority relationships, formal rules and regulations, availability of resources, employee selection criteria, the performance management system and culture, and the general physical layout of the group's workspace. Here comes the group member resources. A group's performance potential depends on the large extent on resources each individual brings to the group. These resources include knowledge, ability, skills, and personality traits, and they determine what members can do and how effectively they will perform in a group. Next one is group structure. They have an internal structure that shapes members' behavior and influences group performance. The structure defines roles, norms, conformity, status system, group size, group cohesiveness, and leadership. Now we come to the role. The role refers to behavior patterns expected of someone occupying a given position in a social unit. The next one is the norms. All groups have norms, that is the standards or expectations that are accepted and shared by a group's members. Norms dictate things such as work output levels, absenteeism, promptness and the amount of socializing on the job. The third one is conformity. The group often exerts intense pressure on the individuals to align his or her opinion to conform the others' opinions, a phenomenon known as groupthink. Groupthink seems to occur when group members hold a positive group image they want to protect, and when the group perceives a collective threat to this positive image. The third one is status system. The status system are an important factor in understanding groups. Status is prestige, grading, position, or rank within a group. The fourth one is the group size. The group size affects performance and satisfaction, but the effects depends on what the group is supposed to accomplish. One important research finding related to group size concerns social loafing, which is the tendency for an individual to expend less effort when working collectively than when working individually. Social loafing may occur because people believe others in the group aren't doing their fair share. The fifth one is the group cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is important because it has been found to be related to a group's productivity. A group cohesiveness, or the degree to which members are attached to a group and share the group goals. The sixth one is the group processes. The next factor that determine groups' performance and satisfaction concerns the processes that go on within a group, a work group, such as communication, decision making, conflict management, and the like. The next one is group decision making. What advantages do group decisions have on individual decisions? One is that groups generate more complete information and knowledge. They bring a diversity of experience and perspectives to the decision process that an individual cannot. And the next one is conflict management. That's another important group process. That is how a group manages conflict. Conflict is perceived incompatible differences resulting in some form of interference or opposition. Three different views have evolved regarding conflict. The traditional view of conflict argues that conflict must be avoided, that it indicates a problem within the group. And another view, the human relation view of conflict, argues that the conflict is the natural and inevitable outcome in any group and need not be negative but have potential to be a positive force in contributing to a group's performance. The third and most recent view, the interactionist view of conflict, proposes that not only can conflict be a positive force in a group, but that some conflict is absolutely necessary for a group to perform effectively. Some conflicts, such like functional conflicts, are constructive and support the goals of the group work and improve its performance. Other conflicts, such as dysfunctional conflicts, are destructive and prevent a group from achieving its goals. Maybe research indicates that you need to work at the type of conflict. The task conflict relates to the content and goals of the work, and relationship conflict focuses on interpersonal relationships, and the process conflicts refers to how the work gets done. And here comes to the learning object number 3, turning groups into effective teams. So what is work teams? Work teams are groups whose members work intensely on a specific common goal using their positive synergy, individual and mutual accountability, and complementary skills. There are many types of work teams. When work team first became popular, most were problem-solving teams. teams work from the same department or functional area involved in efforts to improve work activities or to solve specific problems. Another type of team is a self-managed work team, a formal group of employees who operate without a manager and are responsible for a complete work, process, or segment. And the third type of team is the cross-functional team. This is a work team composed of individuals from various functional specialties. And the final type of team is a virtual team. That's a team that uses technology to link physically dispersed members to achieve a common goal. And how to create effective work teams? We have many aspects and areas to work about that are clear goals, relevant skills, mutual trust, unified commitment, good communication, negotiating skills, appropriate leadership, and internal and external support. And we come to the last learning object, number 4, current challenges in managing teams. They have problem in managing global teams that are group members, resources in global teams, and group structure, group processes, and managers' role. They also have difficulties in building team skills. And the last one is understanding social network. And a manager has to deal with the social network structure. This actually happens within groups. That's the patterns of informal connections among individuals within a group. And that's the end of my sections. The other members will continue. Thank you for listening.
Hello mọi người, today I will talk about the case application of the chapter 13, creating and managing team. The first case application is far and wide. First question is, what challenges would there be to creating an effective team in an organization staffed by an independent contractor, and how could manager deal with this challenge? Managing contractors can be difficult because they often do not have a buy-in into the company culture and low levels of organizational commitment, because contractors will have their own set of goals and objectives. It would be difficult to get team members to trust and communicate to each other. Managers will need to give the team time as well as the necessary resources to develop. Goals for cooperators will need to be established in additional reward for team success. Why do you think teamwork is crucial to Lonely Planet business model? Because of the dispersed geography and the need of guidebook for every tourist area, and the owners cannot physically go to all of the location they want to serve. This model allows Lonely Planet to service areas and at the same time produce a product that appears similar in style and quality. The third question is, using Exhibit 1410, what characteristic of effective team would be most important to Lonely Planet's guidebook teams? From Exhibit 1410, the characteristics of an effective team include clear goals, relevant skill, mutual trust, and unified commitment, good communications, negotiating skill, appropriate leadership, and internal and external support. Where all these goals are important and in each type of situations, because of use of external contractor, external support is more likely to be useful than internal support. Also because there may be low levels of commitment from the contractors. Clear goal, trust, good communication would allow for the team to stay focused on the project. The second case application is teaming up for take off. Question number 1. What type of teams do these employees team appear to be? Boeing is using a problem-solving team where members share their ideas or first suggestions on how work process and method can be improved. Another term that could be used is a quality circles. As this story illustrates, sometimes it may take a long time for a team to reach its goal. As a manager, how would you motivate a team to keep on trying? Manager should remind the members that quality is about to constant improvement. The goal of high quality is never fully realized, and employees should be encouraged that improvement is a process. Also, managers should reward and praise small wins, such as if the team can get the small goal, that's enough to rewards. What role do you think a team leader needs to play in a type setting? Strong leadership can help members adapt the group goals and direct action of members. In time, teams can develop norms and members' role on their own, but a leader will, in this situation, can speed up the process. The fourth and the last question is using exhibit 1410. What characteristic of effective team would this team need? From is exhibit 1410, the characteristics of an effective team include clear goals, relevant skill, mutual trust, a unified commitment, good communication, negotiating skill, appropriate leadership, and also internal and external support. These skills are important in each type of situations, and they should focus on relevant skill and internal support and appropriate leaderships. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.